Okay, this is going to be a refresher on using Google Earth. If you recall, we used Google Earth to make a tour of the Kaaba in Mecca and the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. So this is just going to be a very quick review of how to make place marks and how to make a tour. First, place marks. You can see in this column here I've made several place marks. You would find your location. Okay, and for us it's going to be Tikal and Machu Picchu. You could also use Palenque for the Maya as well, but you see a location that you like, and I'm just going to pick Cuba, for example, and add a place mark. We're not looking for Cuba, but I'm going to show you how to make a place mark. There it is, and then you name it whatever you would like, okay, and I will name it testing. Okay, and then there's a place mark, and then it will show up here on your browser, the sidebar here. Let me just move it, and it should show up. It should be somewhere along here. I believe that was it. Yep, that was it. The title didn't click in, and it came in as untitled place mark. But I've made several place marks within Maya territory and Machu Picchu. So now we're going to make a tour. Now the tour, Google Earth will record a tour up to 2 minutes. So if your tour is going to go longer than 2 minutes, which it probably will be, then we're going to go to use QuickTime, and we're all familiar with QuickTime. But here's our tour, and we're going to begin our tour, and we'll go to Tikal first. And so Google Earth will bring it to that's the first place mark that I took. It's an overview of Tikal, and remember, how long in between stops is how long each view is for the viewer. So, and then boom, I brought it right in. You can see the pyramids. Now, during your tour, you're going to be explaining elevation. You're going to be explaining environment. You're going to be explaining why societies were set up the way they were. You're going to be using the focus questions. And those are all, of course, located on Moodle. And you'll continue to discuss Mayan civilization. Now, this is Tikal. You can feel free to visit Palenque and explain some of the focus questions. One of the focus questions in particular is going to require you to talk about the different societies of Maya. And again, I've just made some slides here, and now the next stop is going to be Machu Picchu. We're going to shoot up to Machu Picchu, and we come down. You notice where it is, and one of the questions has to do with why it is where it is. I want you to pay particular attention to the YouTube clip that I provided for you, because they come right out and say one of the reasons why it's there, and I think you're going to see it. Yeah, you see one of the reasons why it's located where it is in that brief clip. And then you can make other place marks, zoom out, and end your tour from up above, so the viewer can get an idea of where you were in relation to the world. So make sure you have all your place marks set up before you begin the tour. And you can see, for me at least, we're turned upside down. Okay? And that concludes the quick refresher course on how to make a tour in Google Earth.